What's up, YouTube? If you haven't clicked that like and subscribe button, click the like and subscribe button. I had the chance to meet with Charles, the creator of Authentic Mental Health. I've recently partnered up with BetterHelp, and I know that there's a lot of controversy that surrounds BetterHelp. And I found out through life, it's all trial and error. And what works for somebody may not work for somebody else, but it's all about never stopping, never giving up, and trying anything and everything you can to find that one connection that works. I've had a lot of success stories from individuals in our community, other people that I've talked to with BetterHelp. They've done a lot of changes since the controversies that they did have. And I wanted to have a chance to actually sit with Charles because he also supports BetterHelp and what his experience with it is. I actually have a series that's going to come out here soon of my experience with BetterHelp. Because you know what, it might not be for you. It's not for everybody. No type of therapy is for everybody. It's trial and error to find the right one. And the more tools and resources that we can get into your hands, the easier that trial and error experience can be, just finding the right help just to make it out that front door. So I had a great time meeting with him, and you know what, here it is. So you have BetterHelp and you have advertise BetterHelp on your channel.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about it. Why?
So before I started advertising for them, I actually used BetterHelp, and I still do to this day when I need the help.
Does it help having a newborn and having BetterHelp? I'm just really curious about this because it just hit on me right now. Is it beneficial, like, so you don't have to go to the doctor and you can actually do your appointment with her?
For me, yes, for numerous different reasons. Okay, so the first reason is I may be open online, like talking to you about like how I suffer and things like this, but when I get to a doctor or a mental health professional who I've never met before, and I'm meeting for the first time or for the 5th time, 6th time, I feel like they're not truly understanding what I'm saying because a couple of reasons. They might have only gone to university and read about mental health in a book.
Right.
Okay. That's my first problem with it.
Okay.
So there's no relatability.
Right.
So I might say to, you know, the therapist or the counselor, I didn't eat for 3 days. I've been severely depressed. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't think straight. I just want to sleep all the time. And I know that some of their answers are just going to be from a textbook. There's going to be no mutual ground there, if that makes sense. That they're just going to remember, okay, so this is the symptom that they've said. Okay, this is okay. What you need to do is you need to go for a run.
Right.
You need to go and get some exercise. Have you not just listened to anything I've just said?
Right.
I don't want to do anything, and now or you need to meditate every morning, or you need to go to yoga classes.
Right.
If I can't get out of bed, how the heck am I supposed to get out, go in the car, drive, meet loads of different people? That's one of the reasons. Now, I'm not saying people at BetterHelp haven't come from universities and don't suffer themselves.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm talking about my experience talking to someone face to face.
And I get that because I've been the same way. Like with my doctors, I'm very big on trial and error. I've been to some really shitty doctors in person, to the point that I've stood up in the middle of our appointment and said, you know what, I'm done, I'm out, and literally walked out. I had already paid and I'm gone, never going back to them again.
Yes.
And I'm sure that they've helped other people.
Yeah.
But they didn't help me.
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying on that when it is that learning experience when you're actually physically with somebody.
And then another reason, obviously, I'm an immigrant in this country. I don't have insurance. Okay. So I'm on, I don't know if you talk about specific medications.
I talk about Lexapro and
so I'm on citalopram.
Okay.
For me to get a prescription of citalopram every month, I don't know why it works this way in America. You might be able to tell me. I have to personally pay $150 a month to go and see a man who just prescribes me the medication. He doesn't talk to me about how I'm feeling. I'm in there 5 bloody minutes, right? 5 minutes for him to say, here you go. That's not a counselor, that's not a therapist, I don't know what you call them, but he's just giving me...
So that's the difference, and that's where a lot of times people get really confused, especially in the States, especially anybody that comes over, is the difference between the psychologist and the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is who you're seeing, who is administering the medication. Now, a psychiatrist is also, depending on like the medication, so I'm on Adderall. So when I go in, I'm weighed, my blood pressure's taken, and because like my side effects with Adderall, they don't affect me, but they always keep an eye out for them, is massive weight loss, because it decreases your appetite. So that's one of the things. It can increase my blood pressure tremendously. So that's why they check my blood. That's what you're supposed to be done typically when you're going to a psychiatrist. I've also been to psychiatrists that do none of that, and they're just like, here's your script, there you go, good, later, bye.
And that brings me on to another thing. The psychiatrist or whoever I see, what is it?
You see a psychiatrist if they're prescribing you the drugs.
Yes, and they don't talk to me about anything else, all they do. He wasn't listening to me, and he was pushing Xanax on me. He was pushing Xanax on me. He wanted me to stop my citalopram, which I've been on for over 10 years. Right? And he said, you need to go on to Xanax. It's like, I don't want Xanax.
Right. I mean,
I don't want Xanax.
Your medication works for you, though, right? So why would you change it
and
then?
he wasn't listening to this. He was going, no. Xanax is going to give you a much better. You're going to feel much better on Xanax. Have Xanax. I said, I don't want Xanax. Stop trying to give me Xanax. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't listen. He was pushing. It was almost as if he was sponsored by Xanax. It's almost as if he got commission, which they might do. I don't know how it works.
They don't get commission when it comes down to medications like that, but you will have doctors that will fancy other medication over other medications. For example, I've been to an ADHD psychiatrist. That's what they specialize in, is ADHD. They're very big on, this doctor, for example, was very big on Adderall, was very big on low dosages of Adderall. But in order for him to do all of the consultation that he wanted to, at the time I drank heavily and I smoked. He wouldn't do anything though for me, or even prescribe me Adderall, because even though I can say, hey dude, I've been to all these different doctors, here's what they've all prescribed me. You're gonna try and also prescribe me an antidepressant. It doesn't work. Lexapro makes me suicidal, Prozac makes me suicidal, Zoloft makes me sleep. I mean, because I've taken all the medications.
Yeah, you can go on and on and on.
And he goes, well, I'm still not prescribing any of it to you until you quit drinking and quit smoking, and then we can do the proper testing. And I'm going, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm done. Not going to happen. So they prefer sometimes, what I've noticed, and this is just from my experience, and not a doctor, not a counselor, but they almost, doctors prefer different medications over other ones.
Well, going back to BetterHelp. So I don't have a work visa either, so money's difficult for me. I have like no income coming in. Right. So it's $150 to see a person who can prescribe me the medication, which I need. By the way, I need, you know what I mean? If I don't have it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm...
Trust me, I've done some videos of me running out of my Adderall, and it... God forbid even trying to shoot a YouTube video or do my actual job, because I mean, I do this out of passion. It's not happening. Like, I can't control my thoughts. Like, it doesn't stop. So I get what you mean. Like, when no meds, it's over. It's not good.
And then, so there's the $150 there once a month. Then for me to see somebody, it's more money on top of that. Okay. I rang a few people up, counselors, to see face to face. It was like $125 an hour. Okay. So I could probably only afford to see them once a month. Right. If that's pushing money to the point where I might not even be eating. And I'm not joking either.
No, and that makes complete sense, because typically with a psychologist, especially if you're going through like the coping mechanisms and coping tools, you're trying to see them like every week, or even sometimes people will see them twice a week or whatever, to try and keep themselves like accountable to how it's working. So it makes sense, like it's once a month you'd see them.
BetterHelp. BetterHelp is cheaper than if I saw a counselor twice a month, right? BetterHelp, I can speak to someone 24/7 whenever I need somebody, or well, if they're not speaking to other people,
right? No,
I can speak to them. This is what I like. If I don't message my counselor on BetterHelp for 2 days, they reach out to me. They say, hey Charlie, are you okay? I haven't spoken to you for a couple of days. They check in on me. If I'm paying a man for 1 hour, he's not doing that. He's going, Charlie, I want $125 for making this phone call.
I never even knew that. And so my dad was he was a family practitioner. He was a DO, doctor of osteopathy.
Okay.
But he would always, doctors are all so intertwined that they know other doctors. So he would get me with other psychiatrists, psychologists. Okay. Well, I've seen a lot of different psychologists growing up. My dad was personal friends with him, and I never had one of them ever even asked my dad to ask me how I'm doing, because they haven't heard from me in a week. So that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So like, I feel like as if they actually care about me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're not doing it to take my money and not give me help that I need or deserve, if that makes sense to you.
No, and it does. It makes total sense, because and you and I talked about this yesterday, just when we got to meet each other for the first time, of how they'll even turn people down.
Yeah.
Where people get really offended. Oh my God, I was turned down. This isn't right.
Yes. Yeah.
They're turning down people that they can't help.
Which is right. They're not taking money.
Right, because otherwise, if you had something that I couldn't help you with, for me to keep taking your money and leading you on is wrong on morally and ethical, different levels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty cool, because there is almost that human connection side of it, that they do want to do the best that they can for somebody and help them as best as they can.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've heard, because I haven't used BetterHelp. I am actually going to use BetterHelp, and I'm going to document it for 30 days of what it was like using them.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That will be good.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
One of the things I did hear, though, is like, if you don't like your doctor, it's like a click of a button to find a new doctor.
Yeah. Well, luckily for me, I spoke to the same one now for a long time, like 18 months, something like that.
Okay.
I've never had any problems, because I've heard stories and seen videos of people saying that they try to reach out to the person they were speaking to on BetterHelp and they just never replied. I've personally never, this is just my personal experience, I'm not saying that what they're saying isn't true. Me personally, I have never ever had any problems with them, or the person I speak to online at BetterHelp. Other people might have had bad experiences, and I don't own BetterHelp, so I can't. I don't understand why people attack me, because I get that all the time. Like, people attack me for mentioning BetterHelp, and to some extent I do understand. But what I say to them is, have you ever used BetterHelp yourself? They go, no. So okay, so you've read something online and you're bashing it from somebody's review that may not be true, whatever. Then you're attacking me when you've never personally tried it yourself, and you're saying it's crap, this, that. You know what I mean?
And they do, and I think there's a lot of controversy around it, just because it is a new frontier, in a sense of. I mean, I've been going to a psychiatrist and psychologist, both of them, since I was about 13. I'm 39 now. I mean, that's how long I've been seeing doctors and having them involved in my life.
In your life, yes.
So the funny part that you said is that people will complain that they can't get a hold of them, and that might be the case. I can tell you this. Anytime I've ever called my doctors, I've never gotten them on the phone. I've had to leave a message. When I get a call back, unless it was something off the wall, or it was somebody that it was somebody that, I got kind of, fathered into because they knew my dad or whatever. I was never getting even a call back from the doctor. I'm getting a call back from the receptionist or the secretary trying to schedule an appointment, not the doctor themselves. So it's almost like they're angry because it's not so much all the time, everything, that it's like, we're all only human. You're only able to do it so much before it becomes too much.
Yes, definitely, 100%. And another thing that I think, we were speaking about this the other day, about mental health and money, how it's not really spoken about, and how people believe you shouldn't make money off mental health. And especially the way mental health YouTubers, so people are like, you make money off mental health, you're a bad person, you're using mental health to profit off people who are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, I'm suffering, he's suffering, okay? So that's a load of crap to begin with, you know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right.
Okay? BetterHelp is the same in a sense, but BetterHelp is a business, okay? Everybody makes mistakes. So when they were going through the controversy of they made mistakes, every business on the planet makes mistakes, but that's how you learn and you become a better business, or you become a better YouTuber, or you become a better in anything in life.
Well, right. And even when it comes down to it, I mean, a psychiatrist and a psychologist, that is a business.
Yeah.
You know, unless they're part of an HMO or something of that sort, which we have over here, or in a network.
Yes.
And they are a private practitioner. They are a business. They're there to make money, and and they're there to help people. But you get compensated for
your time,
your time, effort. And let's face it. I mean, you've had people reach out to you, I'm sure, looking for support.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
We struggle, and you get people reaching out to you that are struggling. You're trying to just at least share experiences and what helps. I mean, it wears on your own mental health when you start getting constant people, I'm going through depression, or I'm going through this, I'm going through, and you're going, well, I'm going through it too.
Yeah. Well, it's weird for me because when I started Authentic Mental Health, not many people know exactly why I started Authentic Mental Health or how it happened, but I always said I'm willing to sacrifice my own mental health and my own life if it makes just one person put down or stop the thoughts of them harming themselves, or if it helped just one person reach out and get help. And I'm willing, even to this day, to sacrifice my own mental health to help change the world's views on mental health, if that makes sense to you.
And it does, and it's not from a martyr role, it's from a wanting to actually help another person.
That's not a vanity thing either. I don't want to be like Jesus and be like, worship, like, oh, this guy here, we did this and this for mental health. I don't talk about any of the stuff like this, you know what I mean? I'm only talking about this now because we're having like an in-depth conversation, you know what I mean? I've never admitted that on camera before, and only my wife knows that, you know what I mean? But like, I think that just comes down to who I am. But going back,
I hope that you got something out of it. BetterHelp, I believe, is a program out there that really can help a lot of people, especially if you struggle with like agoraphobia, fear of going into the doctors, being able to switch a doctor very quickly. The link to BetterHelp is actually down below. You can feel free to click that for online therapy. Again, it's trial and error to see what works best for you. Also down below, I have affiliate links for all the different tools that I use to help with my anxiety, my depression, just to pretty much make sure that I get through the day. I don't have any dog toys, but my dog does want to come and say hi to everybody before we leave. If you haven't clicked that like and subscribe button, click the like and subscribe button. I'd love to have you along for the journey. And again, it's sharing all the tools and resources that we can. Down below also is all the links to our different social media, so feel free to check them out. Comment down below, love to know your thoughts, and you know what? Let's do this together.